Welcome to the Elevate Effect, the official podcast of Cedar Hill, Texas. I am your host, Mayor Stephen Mason. As the highest point from the Red River to the Gulf of Mexico, our thriving city is elevated in more ways than one. We will have great conversations with thought leaders and change makers, answer community questions submitted by you, and share important city happenings. Now, we are live from the Poetic Justice Studio at the Trafine Hickman Library in 3, 2, 1. My name is Steve Mason, and you're listening to episode 2 of season 2 of the Elevate Effect. We have a very special guest with us here today. He is a fighter, a risk taker, and an inspiration beyond the boxing ring. He is a Cedar Hill resident, Samuel Arnold III, better known as S3. The NABA championship in super middleweight win with the first round knockout. A moment the community will never forget. S3, thank you for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to kick this off and do a little rapid fire.
Okay.
You down for that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start with the rapid fire segment. Say the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
All right. If you could spar with any boxer in history, who would it be?
Muhammad Ali.
All right. What is your favorite post-workout meal?
Air fried chicken.
All right. And what is one thing you can't start your day without?
God.
Love it. So you began boxing at the age of 10, training with his dad.
Yes, sir.
15-0 record with 10 knockouts. So tell me, what is it like, training? Is this what you always wanted to do? I know you started when you was 10, but when did the light switch that you just wanted to take it to be competitive?
Actually, I started when I was 5 years old. I didn't have a choice on just trying every sport growing up. I had a predominantly male cousins and just a younger brother, and I had uncles and my dad. So I'll say around 10 years old is the time when I wanted to be competitive. That's when I started competing. That's when I knew I was going to be a boxer whenever I grew up and everything.
At what age?
10 years old.
10 years old.
Yes,
wow.
sir.
Okay. So you said you talked about your cousins. So were they boxers as well?
Yes. So we just all pretty much our dads and all the brothers, because I have it was 6 cousins and then just me and my brother.
Yeah.
So in total it's 8 boys. We all just had to do every sport, and boxing was one of those sports.
Okay. So put me on game. I like boxing, but I don't really know whenever people say featherweight, middleweight, obviously heavyweight, I get that 100%. One. So for middleweight, what is that? How are you eligible for that weight class?
So I fight in between super middleweight, and I just had my first official fight at light heavyweight, just trying out to win the title. But 168 is super middleweight. 160 is middleweight. Light heavyweight is 175.
Okay. So it literally goes by the weight.
Yeah, so when you weigh in for a championship fight, when they say that weight, you have to be 0.0 or less.
Or less. Okay.
No more. And of course it's going to be, you can't be too low, but you got at least, if you say 175, no 175.8, 0.3, nothing. 175 on the dot.
So if you're 175 and if I was 170. Does those 5 pounds, can that really make a difference?
100% because of the rehydration, the 24 hours until fight night, you can gain a lot of weight. You can drink a gallon of water and gain 8 pounds. So that makes a big difference on top of how certain heights and body structures carry the weight as well.
Right. Well, I get, but I'm saying like in the ring during action.
100%.
Those that 5 pounds
yes,
makes a big difference.
100%. Because a guy could cut from 195 to get to 175, and you can just be 173 and weigh 170, and y'all could be fighting at the same weight.
Okay.
And this guy is much bigger than you. That's a term in boxing that's new that people call a weight bully. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the strength of a 195 guy going down to 175, he still has a strength and power of a 195, but he's just carrying the weight at that moment.
Kinda, because you get 24 hours after weigh-ins, he can go back to 195.
Right.
And sometimes it could be the opposite. He can be drained from cutting all the weight, and you could have the advantage because you didn't have to cut that much.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing, man. So tell me something about the journey that people don't see, but it also has shaped you who you are today.
I mean, everything plays a part. I would say the main thing is just always working, even when you don't know certain things, like when your next fight is coming up, or you not losing sight of the overall goal of being a champion or accomplishing whatever you want to accomplish in the sport. Rather, you know what's the next immediate step to becoming it.
Wow. So you came to one of our council meetings.
Yes, sir.
And first of all, let me ask you, I have a lot of residents that come to a council meeting, and Cedar Hill is a beautiful place. So
Right.
we actually have people that come to our council meetings, and they actually compliment, the council and the leadership of our city. But you actually came to introduce yourself to a council meeting, and we meet in the evening time. So you might have came 7:30 in the evening, and you came to introduce yourself. You said, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. Thank you for your service. And then you gave us a little introduction about who you are. And then you said, hey, I'm about to go train.
Yes.
So that's also some things people don't know about. I mean, in order to be a boxer, are you training 3 times a day? I mean,
100%.
what's the behind the scenes
100%.
routine?
So the routine for me, I would say personally, is always a lot of road work, which is running, keeping your body in shape, a lot of cardio exercises. I do strength and conditioning at 6:30 in the morning. I rest, and then I go do my whether sparring or whatever, boxing, punching the bag or stuff like that. And then at night, I probably get another run in. So it's a constant all day thing. Just like if you work somewhere, it's something you always gotta use or you'll lose it. To be honest, because like I say, you can be working and doing all these things and want to be champion, and you can have a vision for when your opportunity might come. But if you're not prepared for that opportunity, it could be on 2 weeks' notice, or it could be 3 months from now. So if they say you get the opportunity of your lifetime this weekend, but you haven't been training,
Good point.
that's pretty much how boxing is. You just got to stay on it. It's not something you could pick up and go away, or you'll never get to just do an incline throughout your career.
It's kind of like how the Anthony fight went, right? I mean,
100%.
He was due to fight, Tank, was it?
Right.
Yeah, he was due to fight Tank, and Tank, had some legal trouble, and then Anthony got called to the mic, and called to the ring, and I think it was like 3 weeks notice.
Right.
And yeah, I'm assuming he
100%.
he had to get ready to go.
He got to make a good payday and another good win on his record.
That's correct.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We really don't look at it like that. You get a 2 weeks notice. That person's been training for 6-7 months.
Right.
And then they calling you for 2 weeks, and then you got to get your mind set and you're right. So how do you get mentally prepared? Right. Physically, you talked about that, but mentally, how do you get mentally prepared for something like that?
Me personally, I have a lot of strong mentors around me, but I have a relationship with God. I would say personally, everybody has different religions and different beliefs, so I don't want to force my beliefs on everybody or go too deep into that. But a lot of prayer, writing down my goals, studying different people's mindsets that were successful, and talking to a lot of successful mentors that are much more successful than I am now.
Wow.
And they're pretty much in this position in life, even outside of boxing, where I want to be.
Man, please keep that.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people can look at me and see that I'm a public servant.
Yes, sir.
Right? But the fact that you came to the council meeting to introduce yourself, one, I tip my hat off to you. But to the listeners out there, just to be engaged in your community, why did you come to the council? Was there something that you wanted the council to know, the community to know? I mean, what was the purpose of, making yourself known or presenting yourself to the council?
Really, I in the most humble way, I just wanted to introduce myself to the community, because I am representing boxing on a decent scale, and I've been doing it for years, since the amateurs. But I just wanted to let the Cedar Hill City know that I'm not just representing the DFW Metroplex. When you look on my box record, it says Cedar Hill, Texas. So
Nice.
I'm representing that on a global scale, international scale, national scale, whatever, state scale. I'm letting everybody know.
Yeah.
Whenever I fight, whether a guy from Argentina, I'm fighting a guy from California right here in Texas, or Cedar Hill, Texas.
Beautiful. Well, I'll tell you, Cedar Hill is very proud of you, man. And, it's a pleasure to get to know you. I'm really anxious to be able to see your journey moving forward.
Yes,
so please, let's stay connected. You mentioned you came from a boxing family.
Yes, sir.
And trained with your father in the garage. What does your dad do that drives you crazy while training?
Man, just the of course your dad, he always gonna have your best interest. So the criticism all the time,
Yeah.
the criticism, not like tearing me down criticism, but constructive criticism, you know. So, your dad might, growing up, you might be used to your dad telling you to take out the trash, and then he turn around, y'all at the boxing gym, he telling you to keep your hands up.
Right.
So it's always gonna be the same thing, whether, he telling you one thing or another. So just the criticism, regular dad stuff, to be honest.
Nice. Does he say anything to you when he thinks you're slacking?
Yeah, he might tell me to lock in, pretty much. That's a term he uses a lot. But for the most part, I'm not slacking. Sometimes I might have to tell him, like, hey, we in the locker room, everybody put y'all phones up. Like, no phones. I don't want people scrolling on social media and stuff if I'm finna go in there and fight, stuff like that.
So tell me, switch it up a little bit. You just won the NABA championship.
Yes, sir.
You came to our council meeting. You brought the belt with you.
Yes, sir.
How much does that belt weigh?
I'm not sure. It's pretty heavy, though.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. You put me in the gym, Doc. I was like, man, this belt heavy, man. I gotta go in the gym just to hold the belt. But okay, so it really is heavy.
Yeah, it really is heavy. So that title right there ranks you for the world title, which would place you like in the top 15 for the world title. So it's not the world title, but it gets you from just being another prospect to, okay, he's an actual contender.
Right, wow. So you're ranked globally.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so you're the only 15th ranked fighter for your middle.
For my division. Yep. So I'm in the top 15. The rankings haven't came out. They come out probably today or tomorrow. So I'll update everybody on where in that top 15 I am ranked.
15.
Right.
I mean, and there's a lot of boxers out there, man.
Yeah,
you ranked
100%.
15. Man, that's very special, man. Congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
During this NABA championship, you won in the first round.
Yes.
Are you normally a first round knockout
Yeah,
fighter?
100%. Actually, a lot of my knockouts come in the first, like statistically, a lot of my knockouts been in the first, like I'd say 80% been in the first 3 rounds.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not to share your secrets or anything, but I mean, do you have like a special punch? Like, I mean, is it like an uppercut or?
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty versatile bag.
Okay.
At first, whenever I was like originally just like starting the 4-round, 6-round fights, I was dropping a lot of people and knock a lot of people out with a left hook. But straight right hand, that's been getting a lot of guys out of there. But this fight, I actually switched up. I got a body shot knockout. I fought a shorter guy. He was throwing a lot of overhands. So I kind of just gave him a look of like, go ahead and punch. I kind of just shelled up. I slipped to the outside, liver shot. If anybody ever been hitting the liver, it's like a delayed reaction. So you got to kind of freeze, feel it first, then you go down.
Yeah, once you breathe.
Right, 100%. So that's how the fight ended with this one right here.
Wow. So I guess I'll talk to you how you train, but mentally, how do you prepare for a fight?
Mentally preparing, like I said,
Like right before the fight.
right before the fight,
Like it's
the
game
day.
night. Yeah, it's game. I guess I don't know if you're fighting the day or an evening time.
Yeah.
But same day of the fight. What are you thinking?
So the first thing I try to do is stay around people who give me like the right energy before I'm fighting. Like if they a million different places and with their head or their thoughts, or they like on the phone a lot, I stay clear of all of that type of stuff. I really just try to stay in my hotel room, and I try to make the day of the fight a regular day. So I try not to make it too much pressure. So I will do something like wake up, eat breakfast, go to a store, probably don't buy anything or anything, just walk around the store, try to make myself, or go to the beach or something like that if I'm fighting in California. So that just keeps me calm, and then, just have my team listen to some motivational speeches, wrap up my hands, get warmed up, go in there, do my job.
Do you have a what do you call it, a hype song, like a song you want to walk into? Or
no, not really.
Walk up music?
Yeah, I do each fight, so it'll probably just be whatever song I'm feeling at the time I'm training.
Got it.
So each fight it change.
Okay. How do you handle the hype after a win?
Man, it just depends. So some crowds can be against me, so it could be like I did it type thing, which wasn't this fight. It was the fight before last. Some could be like you fighting in your hometown. It could be like just electric, like I got the win, all the pressure over with. Yeah. First thing I try to do always is just be thankful. Just do a quick prayer, thank God. But Man, it's kind of hard to even answer that question, to be honest, because it's
Yeah.
the feeling of winning a boxing match, or especially like a knockout, is like no other that I felt before.
Is that right?
Yes.
Would you, I'm sure knockout, right?
Yeah.
Knockout, you got that feeling. But to go the distance, you know, to get the TKO, whenever they about to make
You're
the,
right.
you know, raise your arms and they
Yeah.
call your name versus your opponent, did you ever have any nervousness whenever the points are being tallied
Yeah,
up?
like the points. No, not really. I haven't had any close long fights. Well, my first fight, I would say I fought in Tijuana, Mexico. They tried to cheat me out of the fight with they took a point away. I knocked the dude out actually. They let him get back up. It was a lot of different things that they did to try to win. The opponent had loaded gloves, which means he had gloves where you could feel his hand wraps through his gloves. He had no padding. He actually took another fighter from Tijuana gloves and put them on right before we went in the ring, which is completely illegal in boxing.
Wow.
So it was a lot of different things. At the time, I was only 17 years old. I was too young to turn pro in America, actually, so I had to go there to turn pro.
God, how old is he?
He was a fully grown man. So, you know, it was a lot of odds stacked against me. So that's time I did kind of feel a little nervous with the decision because I wasn't like a lot of guys had an easy fight. My first fight, I fought a tough guy.
Wow.
So that was a time where I had a little nervousness getting it, like they're announcing the decision.
Yeah, right. And then how'd you feel after winning that fight?
Like a big relief.
Okay.
Like a big relief.
17 though,
Yeah,
right?
17 years old. I was still going to high school. Like I fought on the weekend. Monday I was back at high school.
Wow. So, what is one thing you want people to know about living in Cedar Hill?
Cedar Hill, the one thing I would want people to know about Cedar Hill, the difference that I see between Cedar Hill and a lot of other places is that Cedar Hill preserves a lot of their natural wildlife. I would say that because I'm really into nature. Cedar Hill preserves, I see a lot of the animals that's native to Cedar Hill and a lot of the flowers and stuff are preserved, and that's something I really respect about Cedar Hill.
Nice. You know, we try to have that natural beauty in Cedar Hill. No matter if somebody's passing through or as a resident here, they really appreciate the open space. I just hope everybody, you know, take advantage of this quality life.
100%.
You know, no matter if you know, training or just recreational, just want to go out and enjoy one of your, you know, the parks and trails and things like that. So to hear you say it, man, actually humbles me because that's actually part of our vision, you know what I mean,
Right.
that we want to have for the city. So is there anything else that you want to be able to tell our listeners?
It's a beautiful place. I mean, overall, the demographic is pretty diverse as far as like different people and stuff, businesses, food. I mean, it's just like a small community that you would want to live. It's the perfect place if you have a family or if you're looking just to have a job. I mean, everything you're looking for is in Cedar Hill. It's not like a super party place or anything like that, but I mean, if you wanted to get into that lane in Cedar Hill, you could. I mean, everything you need for general living is in Cedar Hill.
Wow. Well, you know, I think it takes a lot of courage, you know, bravery. You know, you're stepping into a ring, which you probably studied your opponent, but, you know, you still, you know, they're going to have that killer instinct, just like you had that killer instinct.
100%.
We're both competitive. You both want to win. And then, you know, obviously, you know, it's your body, you know, your physical. So I love to hear that you actually are, you know, staying prayed up. You know, you're doing what you can to be able to try to protect yourself. You know, I'm just very proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
proud. How can everybody follow you? Do you have?
Yes, I have social media. My Instagram is Samuel Arnold, SamuelArnold, the lowercase I 3 times. And then that's pretty much me on all platforms. And then my TikTok is Samuel Arnold, LLL, you know, on TikTok. So you can be on the lookout for me.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And everybody know you as?
S3.
S3.
The one
That's
and
it.
only. Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to share your story. We're proud to have you here and excited to watch your journey unfold. So thank you again for being with us today, S3. What is going on with our city happenings? Now, last episode, I teased you about what was going to be announced during our State of the City address. Some guessed a new dog park, a new Cinemark remodel, businesses that's coming to Cedar Hill. While those exciting things are upon us, the biggest announcement was something that shaped all of it. Cedar Hill new tagline, the natural heart of the Metroplex. This updated brand positioned us to attract the kind of businesses our residents have been asking for, from natural grocers to healthier dining, an eco-friendly company that aligns with who we are. It also strengthens our tourism presence by highlighting the Great Greenway, an up-and-coming destination with over 1,000 acres of outdoor experiences here in Cedar Hill. Visit thegreatgreenway.com to learn more on that. And momentum is building. NBC5 recently featured Cedar Hill and our new tagline. You can check that out using the link in the show descriptions. We also have some great events coming up. Be sure to visit cedarhilltx.com/calendar to see everything that's going on in our city. One, I want to personally invite you to our second annual Motown in Downtown Street Dance on Saturday, April 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. in the historic downtown. We will have live music, food trucks, beer and wine, and a whole lot of fun. Last year, nearly 2,000 of you showed up and danced the night away. Let's make this year even bigger. Visit cedarhilltx.com/street dance for details. I hope to see you there. This gives me the opportunity to be able to hear from you. I have some questions here, and two of them is actually from my Mayor Teen Council. This is from Sawyer. What kind of things do you do on a daily basis? What goals do you have? On a daily basis, I would have to say I have to meditate and pray and sort out my schedules of what I want to accomplish every day. My next question is, in what ways have you grown as a person, a father, a leader, etc., through serving as a mayor? And this is from Angelina. Well, Angelina, I think I probably want to say patience. I've pretty much been an easygoing person all my life anyway, but now that I have two young girls that are close in age, they fight for my attention. I think because of my time serving as a business owner, as a mayor, and then when I become a father, that patience is something that I think I probably have grown the most. So I'm going to say patience. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to be able to answer questions from you, but still, I'd like to hear from you. So please feel free to submit your questions. And next time on the episode, I'd like to be able to read them and answer your question here on the Elevate Effect. And for you, submit your questions, submit your ideas and questions to Elevate Effect Podcast at the link below. The art is not about making money, but in keeping it. Save and invest wisely, create generational wealth. Thank you.